Hi, welcome back to Tao of Twang. I'm Dave. Day 11 of the 14-day challenge to improve our basic soloing skills. When it's all said and done, the 14 days, probably in calendar days, took 21 days or something, right? There has been a couple of, one-day breaks in there. I don't think I've done any. One day in between is the most, right? But I've done that a few times. We've just got a lot of other stuff to keep up with lessons and our Patreon page and stuff. So, and, this is different for everybody. Some people won't even discover this, for another year or whatever on the channel. And many folks have said, "Oh, I'm just kind of cycling around those first four and working on that, and then I'll move on at my own pace and stuff." And that's a great plan. Obviously, this isn't something that you would do in 14 days, right? You could do it in 14 days, but then you just keep working it over and over and so forth. Let me know how it's working out for you. Okay. If you just happen to, this pops up on your feed on YouTube and you're like, I don't know, it says number 8 something about something, and I just did that one and I liked it or whatever. Cool. I've gotten some feedback like that too. Just, there is there's a playlist that has them all on there. There's a link to my Google Drive that has some of the written materials and the backing tracks and stuff that go along with all of this. All right, so that's it for the announcements. Now we're going to use a backing track today that we've used before in this series. It's that A7 groove, and it's fitting for what we're looking at today. And let's say that even though folks are at different phases and stages, that we know, let's stick our neck out a little bit and assume that most of us know like a minor pentatonic scale. Okay. If you're still working on that, great. This will still work for you. But you might want to poke around on YouTube and on the Tao of Twang channel and playlist and look for stuff that, you find some videos that seem like they fit in terms of skill level with where you're at. Now, those of us that have been using the pentatonic scale for years now, let's just almost forget about the notes, right? Today, let's just move over into what to do with the notes, right? Now, a little bit of, in that intro, there was a little bit of hunting for the notes, right? And that fits into this stylization stuff that we're going to look at today. And here's why. Let me just go right into it with that. And part of that, and I'll remember it if I put this on better for just a second. Okay. And that was just to kind of remind myself there, right? When I feel that groove, it was, 20 minutes ago I played that intro, but then I kind of remembered how I situated it in there. Doesn't have to be exactly like that, but the little riff was. Okay. So before that, I just warmed up with, some what I call jump shots, like running the pentatonic scale, but with phrasing. Might traverse this way. It might just be up and down. It might just be on one string where you look like you're just doing crazy position stuff that nobody would recommend or whatever. But that's you, man. Just, that's all good, right? Don't get hung up on like, I got to do this one and then this one and then this one. It's okay if that's kind of like how you're whole learning style works, but just because things are written in a book like that and presented like that methodically, just start playing and moving around. You'll get it worked out. So this little riff, we're going to use it as an example. I played it in a bunch of different places. Now, let's just take those two. Same notes. But now it gives us, there's huge differences potentially in playing it in those two different places. One is just like neck mapping and just kind of knowing your way around the guitar and stuff, and different, like we've mentioned several times, those different kind of columns of pentatonic shapes that sometimes they're numbered. I'm not going to get into that right now. But what's the difference in the sound? Okay, couple things here. This is what's cool about guitars. It offers you so many choices, especially electric guitar, acoustic too. Because if we wanted to, if we couldn't do all the bending, full bends, we could still slide. Right, you could figure out a way to still emulate the sound that you want to hear. But let's look at this. Those sound virtually the same because the diction of it is the same. It's a picked note, and then a little bend on that C note. But one thing we couldn't do here is hammer from this note to this one. You can't, it's on a different string, right? So see what I mean? Now these distinctions that we don't really maybe pay attention to very often are happening, and the diversity occurs all over the place, just depending on where you are. There's one where I'm just using one string, so I get like a slide. This is kind of like a Dickie Betts kind of thing. A lot of times several of the notes in the pentatonic will actually be on the same string, right? Right, it's not, see, it's the same notes, but it doesn't sound like the song, right? Right. Now, so where's another place we could do it? So far we've got, you got to fish around. That's a lot like in terms of diction. But see, I like this. When I go to that one at the end, I can slide it. So this is a great little... Look how much action we're getting off of that now. Right? And so, you write the notes down on a piece of paper. I keep playing that before it, and that is kind of a nice pickup note to it. That's a lick, okay? So that's what, next level for a lot of folks is just take that those positions and that, oh man, we're still playing that minor pentatonic. He just keeps playing the same. But, clearly there are huge, important differences that start occurring when you just pay attention to the sound of it. And you got to do some work. You got to spend time on this, not to make it correct and follow the tab and make it sound like so and all of that. That's fine if that's really getting you where you want to be. But to sound like you, just go through that process, and take your time. So now, a couple of other things just to kind of get you going with this. And I guess the challenging part that I hear often too is like, well, yeah, it's easy for you to say because you've already got this sense of phrasing and like you have a lick that's just like in your head or something and you're just playing whatever you want. That's not, I mean, I'm glad if it appears that way. I've been somewhat successful with, creating the illusion or whatever, right? Um, but I am honestly doing what I just described. I'm just going around to all of these kind of typical things and just messing with them until it feels like something and sounds like something. And then I do that every day, and I do it some more, and I do it some more. And then I start putting on some old classic rock records or whatever, and I just play along with it, and it just starts happening. It really is. You got to trust that. I'm like, no, 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 no. That's easy. So that's just, I don't have that natural ear ability to just do that. I need to know. Somebody needs to show me what. No, you do. You've just got to find your own path. Okay. I promise you it'll work out. Trust it. Now, here's a pattern. Okay, and again, it sounds real square. I'm just playing the notes. The one thing though that we're doing in there is this hammers and pull-offs, and that's why I've written this out. I didn't write hammers and pull-offs in this tab right here, and there's a PDF of this in the folder for day 11 because you don't need it. It's just as simple as that. Just put them wherever you can at first. If you got in any of these positions of this pentatonic. So, and then later on, you just kind of decide, almost without thinking, just in real time. Some of them get pulled off, some of them get hammered, some of them don't. Don't you ever see that tab where it's just like, it's 160 beats per minute to begin with, and then it's like, something that's repeated 7 times, and then it's got pull off, hammer, hammer. Do you literally sit there and go like, is there 6 pull offs there or 7? Yeah, and if you need to nail that solo for some reason for a gig or something, or like it's really important to you, great. But for the most part, just trust your intuition again with that. And when you hammer something like that in a pentatonic shape, put some hot sauce on it after you hammer it. Don't ever do that. Just practice that right there. Just getting some of those 4-note boxes. House of Blues, I hear people calling that. Sometimes I'm playing a little embellishment here while we're at it, because now we're just having fun. Well, we're jamming. You're picking up, more style elements, right? We don't need to sit and talk about these notes anymore. So no standing on the dance floor. The sitting's even worse. then people really start worrying about right? We got some list of a problem with the chemicals going on there, whatever's been going on that night. So, bend. When you rest there, keep that thing moving. That caught myself looking at my hand, and of course, that immediately destroyed my playing. Right? I'm looking at a screen of myself, and it's like, so now I'm not playing. I'm looking at myself. Yeah. Okay, so this is just modeling. That's what we're doing. We're modeling, right? Not explaining every little thing. It's just you can feel what's going on. You can see it too. So I've got I'll definitely work out on that. One thing that's nice about that I do kind of like about how I set up that is the when you go back up, they're triplets. When you come down, they're 16ths. One and a three and a four and a triplet. And the way I wrote it there, I made it so that it will connect. If you keep going back around, you'll never have to start over. It'll always lead you. Sometimes it'll start there, and the next time it'll start there. It's just, I guess I'm just showing off because I kind of like that the way that I got that figured out to where you can perpetually keep playing that little exercise. And man, what a workout for just hammers and pull-offs that is. And get you into that alternating feeling of 4 and 3. And we're going to talk a little bit more about some rhythm ideas like that coming up in the last few sessions. Plenty to do right there, right? Not a whole lot of do this exactly like this, but plenty of food for thought and examples of how to start practicing your own style. Now, at the end of that demo, I did start putting in some like a 7th arpeggio. And what's the one thing that stands out right away about that, we're just going to touch base with this because next time we're really going to get into this, is there's a major third in there. That minor pentatonic is that C natural, but now I'm going. Okay, so I just put that in there because at the end of the day, you do want to mix up some of that stuff, right? You want to get that minor and that major sound going in a sort of Mixolydian or 7th chord groove like this. Here's just a little example of that. Even just rotely alternating the two, little bit of that dominant 7th, the sound with the triad in there with the major third, then just right back to a minor pentatonic blues type lick. Yeah, that's exponentially more diverse and I think interesting to the listener, right? So doesn't mean you can't play a great solo and people haven't made millions of dollars using just the minor pentatonic. They have. And it's its own kind of genius for some individuals. I like to mix that major third in there a lot. And we're going to talk about that quite a bit more in the next video. So you got that one PDF. Remember to get it off the Google Drive. Check that out. Really work out on that. And then just take the skills that we've been using all along. We didn't talk about triads and all that today, but of course you put that in there. You put your A major triad in there as you go. Hopefully you're just letting all these skills stew together a little bit at a time and getting to where you can throw on a backing track like that one chord groove, that A7 right there, and just really have some fun. Let me know how it goes. See you back here for day 12.